The clock on the kitchen wall ticked with a rhythmic, predictable monotony, mocking the profound shift Ron's life was about to take. It was a perfectly ordinary Tuesday, the kind of morning where the biggest decision was whether to scramble the eggs or fry them. It was a Ron whose routine was as comforting as an old sweater, had just settled down with a mug of black coffee and a plate of perfectly crisp toast. The sun filtered through his window, painting bright, dusty squares on the worn wooden floor. He took a sip, the heat a welcome jolt. Then came the noise. It wasn't a friendly knock or a casual tap. It was a sudden, violent bam, bam, bam that rattled the very frame of the door, causing Ron to nearly spill his coffee. His heart leaped into his throat. Who on earth would knock like that? Was something wrong? He pushed his chair back and cautiously approached the door, his hand hovering over the lock. He peeked through the peephole, and the tension evaporated, replaced by startled amusement. Standing on his porch, amidst a veritable fortress of bags and cases, was Julia, his vibrant whirlwind of a girlfriend. Her eyes, usually sparkling with mischief, were wide with exasperation, and a stray lock of her auburn hair had escaped her intricate braid. "Jules," Ron exclaimed, pulling the door open, "what's with the 5-alarm emergency knock?" Julia pushed past him, lugging a heavy rolling case that looked suspiciously like a toolbox for a small construction crew.
Sorry, babe. My client canceled last minute, and I just finished a mammoth session, so I'm drowning in equipment, she said, her voice a little breathless as she dropped the case with a heavy thud. I figured, why go all the way home when I could surprise my favorite guy? Plus, I desperately need caffeine.
The sheer volume of her gear, lights, gels, polishes in every imaginable color, tiny brushes, and mysterious electronic devices spilled out onto his entryway rug. It was a tangible reminder of her world, the precise, artistic, and deeply feminine craft of nail artistry. They spent the next hour in comfortable domesticity. Julia recounted a hilarious client story, Ron made her coffee, and the atmosphere was warm and familiar. But as she began repacking her supplies, a stray thought sparked a conversation.
Honestly, Ron, Julia sighed, wiping a speck of glitter off her cheek. I love what I do, but some days I swear my back is going to snap. It's a lot of work that people just don't appreciate. All the fine detail, the hours, the gossiping.
Ron chuckled, leaning against the kitchen counter. I can only imagine. It seems like a whole other universe to me. The sheer patience required, the tiny brushes. I'd probably just paint my whole finger.
Julia gave him a mock pout. It is a whole nother universe. You men, you have no idea what we go through. The shaping, the filing, the moisturizing, the wait time, and that's just the nails. Don't even get me started on hair and makeup.
Hey, I'm a supportive boyfriend, Ron protested good-naturedly. But no, I genuinely can't fathom it. It's like trying to understand quantum physics when you're used to basic algebra.
Julia's eyes suddenly gleamed, a dangerous sparkle that Ron knew well. It was the look of an artist who had just found a canvas. Oh, you want to understand?
She challenged, scooping up a velvet cushion.
Well, today is your lucky day, Mr. Algebra. You may not know the agony of an awkward cuticle, but you're about to get a crash course in the artistry of the perfect polish.
Ron's jaw dropped. Absolutely not, Julia. No, I am not getting my nails done. That's insane.
Oh, come on, Ron. Just a clear coat, maybe a tiny bit of shaping. It'll be fun. Think of it as method acting. How can you truly understand my world if you haven't walked a mile in my perfectly pedicured shoes?
She fluttered her long eyelashes, a classic move.
Please, just this once.
I have all the best tools right here, and it would truly make my day.
Ron hesitated. He knew that look. Julia was unstoppable when she had an idea. He sighed dramatically, conceding defeat. "Fine," he grumbled, extending his hand reluctantly. "But if anyone asks, you are banned from talking about this. And I want a free coffee every morning for a week."
Julia cheered triumphantly. Deal. Now, sit. This is going to be amazing.
He settled onto the sofa, watching as Julia carefully selected a tiny, precise file and a buffing block from her massive collection. She cleaned his nails with a professional seriousness, her brow furrowed in concentration. Ron winced inwardly, feeling the entirely foreign sensation of having his hand held and meticulously attended to in this manner. He was bored, slightly uncomfortable, and definitely regretting agreeing to this silly ordeal. He couldn't wait for it to be over.
Julia finished the meticulous shaping, humming softly as she applied a base coat, followed by a light, shimmering silver polish she insisted was gender-neutral chic. She held his hand up, examining her work with pride.
And done!
She announced with a flourish.
Behold, Ron, the first step into my beautiful, frustrating world. Now, keep still while it dries.
Ron stared at his hand. The polish was subtle, but definitely there, and it felt utterly bizarre. He was about to make a sarcastic comment about the feminine experience when the strangest sensation washed over him. It was a sudden, intense heat that started in his fingertips and surged through his body like a bolt of lightning. The air in the room crackled. Ron gasped, his eyes wide as saucers, and he looked down at his lap. His hand was reshaping, becoming more slender, fingers lengthening, nails perfectly oval and gleaming brightly. Julia, who had been admiring her handiwork, noticed the sudden tension in Ron's posture and looked up. Her eyes widened in disbelief. Ron's face was changing. His strong jawline softened, curving into delicate lines. His stubble vanished, leaving behind smooth, soft skin. His eyes grew luminous, framed by suddenly longer, darker lashes. He felt a peculiar pressure across his chest. His old t-shirt stretched taut over blossoming curves he'd never possessed. His shoulders narrowed, his waist cinched, and his hips began to flare gently. His hair, previously short, grew rapidly, thickening and darkening, cascading down her shoulders in rich, wavy locks. In what felt like a dizzying flash, the metamorphosis was complete. Where Ron had been, now sat a woman. A breathtaking, undeniably stunning woman. The transformation was so complete, so utterly shocking, that for a moment, neither of them could breathe. Julia dropped the nail brush. It clattered to the floor, loud in the profound silence.
Ron?
Julia finally whispered, her voice barely a tremor. The newly transformed woman tried to speak, but only a soft, melodic gasp escaped her lips. The voice was higher, lighter, utterly foreign. She looked down at her new hands, her legs, her entire being. It was real.